So we are looking at a game of Dungeons & Dragons. It's a one-shot, but because we only stream for it's a relatively short amount of time that we stream for, we don't get it done in one sitting, so we're doing it over today and tomorrow. It is an adventure that's been created off the peg, I guess. It's not an original. It has been created, and if you are interested, if you do think this looks like an adventure you might want to run yourself at some point in the future, then you can find Rebels of the Drifting City available on all of the usual places. We are using the Roll20 version, and that comes with maps and images and tokens and everything. So yeah, one shots can be a lot of fun. But the one thing that we aren't using are the pre-generated characters. The pre-generated characters have been pushed aside. I will give them to anybody who dies first. The first person who dies gets the first pre-gen to play with. Yeah. So who's gonna describe and talk about their character first of all? Who wants to go first?
I'll go ahead if anything.
Yormada, right? Yormada.
Right. So I've got Panrin Fire Blossom. He hates to be called Pan. Also hates to be called Rin. Always has to be Panrin. Right, he's a halfling, ghost-wise halfling, to be specific, and he's a druid. He's dabbled in, let's say, activities of the crime sort in the past. He very much believes that where there is chaos, there is money to be made.
Yeah, and there we see him sitting casually against a tree on the edge of a vast cliff, and we'll find out a bit more about the kind of living situation that you all have. It's going to be pleasant, but yeah, thieving is certainly, well, it's a possibility. We'll find out what Panrin gets up to. Okay, who's next up? Aldo.
Mr. P. Hill is slightly overweight and short and prone to fits of anger. He's half goat, half man, and likes to consider himself a trainer of heroes, but has so far been rather unsuccessful, and they've all gotten themselves killed. So he's sworn an oath of redemption, and is convinced that one day he shall train a hero who does a great thing. And he doesn't always tell the heroes that he's training them. Which is probably where he goes wrong.
Okay. Right then. Russ?
I'm playing Winnerin Winnie Wildhair. She is a halfling wizard, and she's kind of lucky, I suppose, is probably the easiest way of putting it. She works for a library doing a whole heap of researching, and that's kind of her vibe. But she's found herself perhaps on a little bit of the questionable side of things in recent times.
And Scoon's clocked it. Okay. Points to Scoon in chat there. Yeah, so Red.
Okay, so we've got Dora, who is a Dragonborn. Tall, quite lean and lithe. She is less muscular than the typical Dragonborn. Mostly works in the family business as a merchant, mostly dealing with alchemy, but due to family scenarios when she was younger, is not a fan of authority and will quite happily work against them. She's also a pretty mean shot with a bow and arrow.
And Mud.
So Geralt is a bugbear. He's mainly a bruiser with a few extra bits of flair. He doesn't really understand how he does, but they make the fights far more entertaining for him, so he's happy it happens. He's relatively simple-minded. He's not entirely sure what he's actually doing currently with everyone here. He just knows entertaining things happen when he's with them. So he's just going to follow whoever he's decided is his boss at this particular moment in time. And just go along for the ride and see how much trouble he can cause as he goes.
It's not at all that I've come to expect chaos from these players. Not at all. We have an adventure. We have a tall tale to tell. And this tale appears on quite a stunning location, at least if you were viewing it as you were falling off the edge of it, looking up at it and contemplating how amazing it is, possibly thrown off by one of the party. Who knows? It sounds like they might be the kind to do that. This is the location that we find ourselves in, and it is a floating hunk of rock. The drifting city. There was a war between gods many years ago. Powerful magic was shattering the land, the world. It was all but destroyed. Civilization was on the verge of collapse. Fortunately for everybody, 5 powerful wizards managed to save a chunk from floating off into space, and they put their arcane skills together and saved a bit of an arc of people and animals. A mountain was wrenched forth from the ground, and the city has since floated in the sky for centuries. And the wizards, now simply known as the 5, have gone mad. Despotic rulers of the drifting city they are. Prone to thinking themselves of as gods. The city itself is overcrowded. They have no concern for the well-being of the city's people. The citizens themselves are kept in order by the cadre. They're a violent police force. They are loyal to the 5. What you see here is a massive teardrop size floating rock. It's full of buildings on top, and as the top filled up, people started building down. And people moved underground, and then that space became pressured. The city always has high winds around it, and generally speaking, the unstable nature through the sky, underground is probably the safest place to be. But even still, there are rumbles similar to earthquakes, but caused by the storms buffeting the rock. The winds are dangerous. But the tallest structure in the centre is this Tower of the 5. It's multiple stories high, and it looms above everything else. There's quite a nasty story about why that also has a surrounding area of nothing, no houses, no build around it. The 5. They were pretty good to start with, but they went a bit mad. The most visible of the 5 is Draga. He's the one that's most likely to take direct action, and the others, though that are rarely named, the others are Isolde, Fratic, Lapilla, and Requus. As we talked about, the Cadre are there to exert the Five's will, and it's destructive. Some people like to enlist in the Cadre just so that they can live, just so they can survive. If you can't beat them, join them. The other defenders are the Dark Sky, who are powerful magic users and powerful apprentices. Malevolent, absolutely. The Five have turned these people into powerful weapons to exert their will. The most prominent of which is Ichondria, the Dark Cleric, Argast, a spellcasting master of torture, and Vandro, the most powerful of all Dark Sky, and a potent Stormbringer. Atop the tower of the Five, the arcane light shines at all times, emitted from the artifact known as the Fire. It crackles with eldritch lightning, casting a twilight hue across the surface of the drifting city, even in the darkest hours. Pieces of stone orbit the fire, remnants of the spell that formed the city originally, imbued and sustained through the magic of the Five. The fire gives them complete control over the drifting city. But the lawless, you
An eternity
are the lawless.
in bloom,
You are
flicker, in flower,
the lawless.
a flicker, an eternity, an eternity.
This is a name given to you by the security forces, by the Cadre. You're an organised group in a cell, and the rest of the lawless exist in the cell structure. You don't know anybody else that identifies as lawless, and you communicate through a series of dead drops. You have been told to wear yellow on your person, keeping it hidden from plain sight, but when required, to easily reveal it as an identifying mark. If you are asked the question, "Is your journey far?" you are to respond with the confirmation phrase, "I know the way." You've received a dead drop. And the information that you have is that you are to acquire magic cloaks worn by the Cadre in order to gain access to the Tower of the Five. There will be a distraction. There will be a distraction. There will be a distraction. And when the distraction happens, you're to move into the Tower of the Five. And you're to take the fire. The fire that controls the city. The Five and their minions will likely try and stop you. This will be your final mission, one way or another. So, that is what you know. That is how you start. Is it anybody, before we begin, got any questions? Okay. Seems like the lawless are ready. And we find them standing in front of or outside of the surface level entrance to one of the barracks of the cadre. As you stand looking at this entrance, you know that you must successfully infiltrate the barracks to find the cloaks and get out to continue the lawless plan. The building is a 2-story. There's 1 story above ground consisting of administrative offices, the training centre and holding cells. The second, below ground, contains the living quarters. Now, as you stand outside, you know you have to go in. And so, who's going in first?
Is it supposed to be like a dark box?
Yes. Until we agree the marching order, who's going in first? Who would be first to walk up to the door and open it and walk into this barracks?
Gareth will go first.
Gareth. Describe what Gareth looks like.
So, Gareth is a just shy 8-foot tall bugbear, emphasis on the bear part. He's wearing very, it looks like it's meant to be armour. So it's got like the big shoulders, it's got the fur around it, and it looks like it would go well with armour, but there isn't really anything else to protect him or make it up. It's like, he saw that looks cool and puts it on without actually taking the armour part of it. As he just walks in first with his halberd on his shoulder and just grins at everything inside it with a big snarling smile with his teeth exposed. Doesn't say anything to them, but he's looking very eager.
Okay. Who's next then?
Mr. Hill shall totter in next at just shy of 5 feet. He is absolutely dwarfed. And shall kind of try and peek round Gareth and wave jovially at these gentlemen that we have walked in on.
Okay. And next?
Winnie follows them both in. She's a very short halfling with a sort of pink curly hair, cut quite short, and sort of a reasonably tall blue hat. She's kind of glancing around a little bit nervously, but on the whole just kind of follows the two in. She looks particularly tiny when she's next to Gareth.
And Sora or Panrin?
Aaron looks over to Sora and goes, "After you, milady."
I generally prefer being at the back. Mostly so I can see over the top of all of you. Except Lanky at the front.
That's fair.
You walk in together.
We working together.
Panrin, what are you wear? What you wear? What you doing? What you look like? What are people seeing? What do the guards see? The soldiers see when you walk in?
They see, should I say, a halfling that isn't dressed the way you'd expect a halfling to dress. He's got he seems to think a lot of himself. So he walks in with a sort of like a confidence in his step, and a confident smirk in his face. He looks over at Gareth and goes and thinks to himself, like, as long as I'm behind this guy, everything's gonna be okay. And he just eyes the room up to see, if there's anything sort of valuable. That's the first thing he looks for as he walks in.
Okay. And Sora, what did the guards see when you walk in? You said you're tall.
Yeah, I mean, not like crazy tall, but 6.5 foot. She's generally quite relaxed and sort of gives a bit of an air of, well, I belong here. Not in an arrogant way, but just sort of, she's a merchant. She's been around. She travels a lot around the city and is just used to slotting in places. She's got sort of like blue-green scales, which got a slight metallic sheen to them. And when she smiles at people, they'll notice that she has one of her larger teeth is missing from the upper left, which, when nervous, she'll sort of sit there and play with it.
Okay. When you get in to the lobby of this space, you see a big stone desk. It's filling the large space in front of a window. Behind are 2 suits of armor with the crest of the cadre between them. There's a raven rampant over 2 swords. Another window is across the room in the front of the desk. On the wall opposite the entrance are plaques. On the wall, these plaques are massive taxidermy rhinoceros beetle heads. 2 Kurdish soldiers standing behind the desk. Not sitting. As you walk in, you hear them having a discussion about nothing in particular. But they stop immediately. As you walk, as Gareth first enters, and they watch amused as you file in, and they turn and look, and one of them says to you, "What's your business here?"
Before we go on to business, Croy, I haven't got visibility in the room. I mean, I know she doesn't have dark vision, but she still has some vision.
Let me just give you some vision there. What a vision it is. Well then, bear got your tongue?
Ruffles just smile and step forward up to the desk and just say, "Reporting Crown."
Oh yeah? Turn yourself in, are you?
Yes. And he'll swing his halberd.
Alright then. Okay, so firstly, select your tokens. select your tokens, and when you have your token selected, go to your character sheet, and from that point.
Oh, that's depressing. How come whenever I start things, I'm last?
Am I pressing initiative here?
Yes, please.
Quick, what level do barbarians get advantage on initiative?
Okay. Let's just check. Chat can see the initiative order there. Okay. How are we doing? We should have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent, excellent. Sora, Winnie, out of the two of you, who's got the highest dex?
Mine is 16.
Also 16.
Who wants to go first?
I think Russ should as the responsible leader.
Fine, fair enough.
Those numbers are going to go right.
Okay. I think Winnie just kind of like gives this squeak and then casts sleep in the direction of the two soldiers.
All right then. You connect with the magic, you cast your spell. You know how it works. And you immediately regret that decision. Nothing happens.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm just gonna like squeak and move back over here then.
Okay. Sora.
Okay, Sora is... They both do the same damage, so it's purely flavour. Let's go longbow. Arrow out, notch it, and it's going to shoot for the Cadre soldier on the left.
Okay.
So that's 16 to hit.
It looks like it's going in. It catches the cloak that's over the shoulder. It's just a standard red halberd. It's nothing special, and it rips it off, but it doesn't do any damage. The damage is mitigated by the armor.
Okay, and then just going to shoot again. Oh, for the love of...
So your shot goes a bit wide, and this time it hits a bit of the armor in the background. He completely misses. Okay, at this point, he said, "What do you think you're doing?" They're ready. They're ready. They're ready for you. These aren't just some amateur street brawlers that you've managed to find picking mushrooms or beetles off the walls of the caverns down below. These are serious people. Gareth, the sword is drawn, and it's slashed at you.
Miss.
And again, as you dodge out the way, 20 to hit for 4 damage.
Yeah, that would do it.
Catches you, takes a bit of your bear fur off your shoulder. Panrin.
I'm just thinking here. So Panrin gets a little bit excited now and sees all of these attacks doing nothing, all these spells doing nothing. And runs forward. Let's say towards the Cadet soldier. And this. Use a primal savagery. What do I do? Just click on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you click on it, it should roll the attack for it.
Okay. And goes in for a bite on this kind of soldier on the right.
Okay. As you jump over the table, doing a cat pass onto the arm holding the longsword, you grip onto the arm and realize it too is armored. As you try and slash onto this thing, you can't get through. These guys are well armored, they're well trained, and so far proving very resilient to your best efforts. Any more from Panrin? As you're contemplating your attack, the soldier that was attempting to be stung by arrows jumps round the table and slams into the largest target in the room, Garoth. Soldier wearing a long sword tries to slam into you again, misses with its first attack. Second, one-handed, completely fails as you just knock him aside. You just brush his hand away and the sword slams off the table, narrowly missing Panrin, who's trying his best to take out one of the other companions there. Yeah, not going so well. Garoth, your turn as you're toe-to-toe with this individual, this soldier.
So Garoth will look down at the one front, and will just get wider, and he will rage. And because of my random this crap, it causes a wild surge, and I get number 2, which is... Oh, that's fun, I can teleport. So Garoth will just teleport to here. And so I've done a barbarian before. Is rage an action or a bonus? I think it's just a bonus action.
Rage is bonus.
Yeah. And so Garoth will now swing at the one to his right, as attacking his little friend. He will take his halberd. Why is that?
As you move across the table, the soldier slams down in an attack of opportunity, and you take 7 points of damage. But because you're raging, you half to 3.
Okay.
Did he not teleport there, so he didn't actually move?
Yeah, it's my rage thing lets me teleport.
You teleport. Let me see. Spell. Teleport. Did you... On target. Mishap. Oh, it's just so much. You definitely arrive there. Takes an action. Yeah, okay, we'll go with it. You do not take the damage. He just lashes out into space. He sees you're not there, and he doesn't know where you've gone. And he turns around and stares at you over the table. Yeah, so you don't take any damage from that. Quickest and funnest route as he slams his sword into the air. Right, go for it.
So I'll attack the one closest to me, which was 21, and I do not turn advantage off on these hits.
Okay.
So that's 8 damage to it. I will swing again with my helmet.
Yeah.
And I don't lose it in my sheet.
Also a hit. 14 points
So
damage.
14 damage.
Nice. Okay. Mr. Hill.
Wonderful. So, as bonus action, we shall cast Field of Faith upon Garoth. And then for our action, we'll take our... We'll go for the longsword, the two-handed swing. First attack at the one nearest us. Does a 15 hit?
No, it does not. Armor far too robust for you to be able to pierce it and gain any access to flesh beneath.
Do I have a second attack? I think I do.
Do it.
Yeah, extra attack. I've got a second attack. So we'll take a second swing. That's
Also,
even worse.
okay.
I'll just clang the sword off the back of his helmet a couple of times to try and get his attention.
You stand there, jump up. Doing, doing. Yes. Sora, Winnie, you guys are toe for toe, so I'm giving you the advantage of being able to pick who goes first each round.
Do you want to read or do you want me to?
No, I can't. Let's see how badly I roll this time. So, then again, longbow aiming at... Do you aim for the cadre soldier towards the back? Bow. Oh, for the love of... Can I use real dice, please, Croy?
Of course you can. Go for it. Get them. Roll 20 not being... Roll 20's been sin-binned by Red. There we go.
Surely tempted to sin bin it myself.
I rolled a 7, so that was 13. I think roll 20 is probably only slightly more vicious than the real die.
Okay. So
I'm
yeah,
sober, that's the problem.
you're not getting anywhere with your eyes. This confined space, it's the light, it's the armor reflecting light off. Winnie.
Winnie is going to cast a firebolt at the one that's behind the deck.
Okay. And we're looking for a spell save. Oh, yes, spell attack, right. No. Goes wide.
Okay. She just sort of squeaks and swears a little bit as it misses. I think that's all.
2 attacks, swipe around. One hits Garoth, the other one aimed at Panon as the soldier realizes he's surrounded. Takes the first hit of an 11 at Garoth and misses, and then turns around. Panrin, this one's aimed at you, and 7, so you dodge out the way without any trouble at all. You can return, Panrin, you can reply.
When you say I can reply, you mean as it just is my turn, right?
It's your turn. Get him dead. Kill him. Kill him dead.
Right. So as Panrin's teeth return to normal, and he very swiftly dodges the attack from the Kedar soldier, he snarls at him and uses more of needles. And an array of needle-like fangs again grows in his mouth, and he tries to bite him one more time. Oh, well, okay. Cast at what level now? Oh, I see. Okay.
There we go. On a hit. Okay. So that should make an attack roll. Oh no, there's a dex saving throw on a hit. Okay. So for the duration, you can use your action to make a melee spell attack with that bite. So basically, you're just biting them. So for you, Panrin, roll a d20 and add 6 to it.
Just on the dice roller, right?
Yeah. Oh, and a 2 with a +6 for an 8. Okay, so
right.
You're not having much luck. You got anything else? That was a bonus action, and you've cast that. You've used your action. Are you going to move? Are you going to shout anything?
Wait, that was a bonus action, wasn't it?
Yeah, the bonus action for the cast, and then an action for the attack.
Yeah. You know what? No, he's gonna stay right there, and just looks at the Kedar soldier awkwardly. Just laughs, an awkward giggle.
Yeah, just stares at, and the guy says to you, "I'll deal with you later." Turns around, looks at Garoth.
But I completely missed the cue. That was my turn there. Hence the awkward silence. So Garoth will grin down at this one and swing with his halberd once again.
Okay.
19.
Yep, that's it.
That's another 12 points of damage.
Okay.
And then because Garoth Scrubby's got a fun ability, he's got a goddamn use it. He's got a bonus action teleport. To back to where he was here, and he's going to hit the other one.
Okay.
Because he's just discovered he can teleport around the battlefield, and he is going to use it.
That's also a hit.
Another 12 points.
Okay. Yeah, these guys are looking a bit banged up already. Mr. Hill.
I guess it's just going to be another 2 swings of the longsword.
Make it happen. That is a hit.
Oh. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I feel. Hang on. Where is it? Yeah. We've got to.
Okay.
So we'll damage at that, and then just be a first level slot. So that's 2d8.
Okay, so another 23 points of damage on top of the. That's 20. Okay. Yeah.
Is he still standing?
Oh, he's still standing. Yeah. Natural Havoc, thanks for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. We've just got started on this one shot in 2 parts. So we are in the first room and they are attacking a couple of soldiers who look less than pleased to see them.
Well, I guess we'll swing again with the longsword then. And that'll miss.
That does miss, indeed.
He's had his one moment of glory and that's him done.
Sora, will the real dice in your hands fly arrows more true than the digital dice in Roll20?
Probably not. I will stick to Roll20 because I think these are, they're just going to be as cursed. Of the soldiers, which one's looking the most hurt, or are they both?
No, the one behind the table is looking the most hurt.
Cool. Alrighty, I will continue going for him then.
Come on, the next one. Oh, the rolls are not good. The rolls are not good. Red. Why is Roll20 forsaken you? Oh, no.
I mean, it's probably because I've been talking shit about it for the last couple of months, but...
You're blacklisted. Okay. Now, top of the round. Winnie again. Let's see what Winnie's up to. Squeaking in the corner.
Firebolt is basically gonna be my thing, and yeah, I think I actually can re-roll that, so I think I'm going to. I'm gonna spend a luck point. A d20, which is an
There you
18.
go. Yes, that's a hit.
Yeesh. But anyway, he takes 8 points of fire damage as Winnie's firebolt finally slams into him.
Slams into him and knocks him flying backwards onto and around the emblem, the big raven rampant on over the 2 swords just falls back and stumbles against the wall and collapses in the heap. So, one left. He's looking around going, "Hey, who the fucking hell are you? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oi!" And he shouts at the top of his voice.
I'm gonna move forward, I think, and see if I can also see anything further down this corridor.
Okay. Now fighting for his life. Slams into Garoth with a 23 for 6 damage. Halved, because you're raging. And again, another desperate attack for 20 for 9, half to 4. So 7 points of slashing damage from his 2 attacks. Is this almost takes on a rage of itself and slams into you twice. Once, twice, bang, bang. And yeah, you feel that. Panrin.
And seeing this, goes over to his moves over to assist and brings out a quarterstaff that looks way too big to fit in his pocket and takes a swing at this soldier here.
Yeah.
Just click on it, right? Yeah.
That's a hit. So if you click on the word quarterstaff, that'll roll the damage. Actually, in the chat itself.
Oh yeah.
There we go. 4 points of damage. Who sent you? Who sent you? You hear him shouting. He knows his days are numbered. Garoth.
Garoth will just smile and not tell him at all. He will teleport to 15 feet away, which I think that's what it is. Perfect. Out of range of the thing, it'll reach him, but because it's a halberd and he's a bugbear and gave plus 5 footer reach to his weapons, he can still hit him. So Groth will swing down once with halberd. That'll miss.
That miss.
14.
Yeah. Both miss. Your technique has...
Maybe a little bit too far.
Yeah, a little bit too far. Stretching a bit too far. Mr. Hill, you're used to the shenanigans of your barbarian friend, but it seems like he's taken it a bit too far this time. It's up to you.
Yeah, that's not good. Mr. Hill glares at Groth for making such a basic error as miscalculating his reach, and will attempt to save face by striking him twice with a long sword.
That most certainly hits.
6 damage.
That also
again.
hits.
Another 3.
You'll pay for this. Yes. And he begins to cough up a bit of blood. Okay, so Rawini.
Winnie first this time?
Almost.
I mean,
dead.
I'm just gonna click a button twice and get just awful numbers, so Winnie at least stands a chance of doing damage.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna try and survive this dude.
The hits.
Winnie's fireball just sort of flies out of her and
Yep.
slams him.
Die for the helmet. You just get this smell of burnt, and it just singes up through the air. And you look down on the ground, and rather than blood, you see black, just flakes dropping down onto the ground. As it hits the ground, the figure crumples over and falls to the ground. You are now out of combat.
Oh, that's rather upsetting. I did want to tell him that the 5 sent us. See the look of shock on his face. The next one's though. We'll tell them.
Garoth just looks at his halberd in confusion. He just kind of reaches out, see how far it reaches, and looks back and reaches out again, going,
Perrin sits down on the table that he stood on, and asks, weren't these the cloaks? Weren't we told to grab some cloaks so that we can maybe infiltrate a lot easier?
Yeah.
You look at these cloaks, both of them burned terribly. In any case, they don't look at all like the kind of thing that you were told to expect. It's far too flimsy. These are just little cloaks. They're not. No, you were sure it was something much more valuable, and in your estimations, they don't look valuable, Panrin. These look like fairly cheap. These were low-level grunts. These guys. It's not that. This surely the fact that they're burnt doesn't help. But even still, you look at them and you just think, what? Nah, this doesn't meet what we were told to get.
So what we do? What about this this armor here? What do we think of this, guys?
Well,
Look at the halberd. Fine.
What are you doing?
Get off. You get.
Get off the armor with his halberd, see if it does anything.
It's very solid armor. It looks like it's almost welded
off.
together.
We need to work on your ability to calculate your reach. It's quite embarrassing that you teleported too far.
Well, he'll just walk over, tap Keyhill on the head, and just shove him out the way and walk past.
Which way are you walking? To you, Winnie's right. There is a wall leading up to the north, and a set of doors just slightly beyond that. Big, chunky, double doors. And up ahead there is corridors, and as you look down the corridors, you see cells to the north.
I guess we could go this way.
Head further in.
Let's go.
Okay. As you edge further in, you see 3 holding cells, iron bar doors. There's a basic cot in each, none with blankets or pillows, and of course a bucket. In the center cell, there's a female dwarf who watches you intently as you enter.
Should our vision be updating?
Yes.
Oh, we're coming up at 10:30, so would it be a good opportunity to take a quick break while we get our vision back?
Or
Or do you want to get further on with the story first?
Let's just do a little bit more. Let me just do that. There we go.
Oh, thank you.
Wait.
Okay, yeah, so at the end of this, the dwarf in the central looks up at you, and yeah, it just stares at you. Doesn't say anything.
What are you in for?
Glares at you. Just glares at you. And there is the perfect token for a glaring dwarf. If Roll20 would play ball. Never mind. Yeah, so dwarf glares and just looks at you and doesn't say anything.
Perrin steps forward and goes, "Do you know what time they serve dinner in here?"
They appear to be unable to talk.
She looks up and says, "Yeah, how about you let me out then, eh?"
Well, I'm sharply considering it. However, I would like to know why you're in here. You know, I wouldn't feel comfortable releasing, I don't know, a serial killer. But if you're in for something
What do you
less
mean?
serious,
So someone that's like just sitting here without any armor, without any weapons, is going to do you a lot of damage? What do you think I am? Now,
not us, of course. No, the population at large.
Oh, just do it. Why do you think I'm in here? I just looked at somebody the wrong way, didn't I? That's all that happens. Just look at somebody the wrong way. You just look at them and you say the wrong thing to the wrong person at the wrong time in this shithole of a place. You just get stuck in here, don't you? Don't you? That's what happens. You know it. You know that's what happens. Now just get me bloody key, will you? Get me out of here. She's got no weapons that you can see. She's got no armor on.
Can I make an insight check on that story?
Yeah.
Probably know very little.
It's just look. From what I heard, you just sorted out. And yeah, you get a sense that she's just a person there, a dwarf that's been on the wrong side of everything, and has managed to successfully get herself on the wrong side. And you know that's the case. It happens all the time. People are locked up for absolutely no reason whatsoever. You could be walking down the street and you could stop to talk to somebody and all of a sudden you're snatched. And the cadre just happened to be going by and for whatever reason, more or less to keep the population in check and stop the place getting too overcrowded. These are all valid things that they do. This is why you're here. This is why you are the lawless. This is why you're standing up against them to challenge the tyranny.
Wonderful. Would someone find the key and release this kind person?
Have we seen a key? Would Sora have noticed a key as sort of like walking through?
Roll perception.
Oh, this will go well.
There we go. Yeah, you know it's keys.
Roll 20 did it on purpose.
Under the desk. under the desk, there's a couple of hooks and there's some keys. There's four keys on. So you go and grab the key, come back. The jail cell opens. And she looks at you and says, "Thanks very much. It's a pleasure knowing you." And then makes her way through you, kind of eyeing you suspiciously, and then she stands there and just looks up at you. Says, "You let me pass then? Yeah, thanks. I'll good luck to whatever it is you're doing. I never saw you." And then walks out.
Garth doesn't move.
Yeah.
He just stands there looking really, really confused for a moment and then just says, walk far? I just stands to the side.
And he just
This is not.
That close enough. Close enough.
Panrin realizes
Mr.
what he was trying to say, turns around and goes, while the dwarf is walking away, and goes, "Is your journey far?"
she stops dead.
You what?
She stops. She
Oh.
stops dead. Turns round. Walks up to you. And that's where we'll take the break. That's a different sort of not being able to hear us. That's a very loud music. Apologies for that. Okay, so to repeat that, you used the necessary is your journey far? You were responded to with a confirmation phrase, I know the way. You then exchange yellow, and at that point, the dwarf who you rescued from the cell has offered to sit and keep watch for you. They'll keep watch, and they will alert you by clattering the armor and making a loud noise. And if you hear that, then you know that there are people coming. And she looks at you and says, "Is that mate? Is that all right? It's just I'd love to come with you and help, but look at me, I've got nothing. I'll sit in." And she gets underneath the desk.
Thank you. Should we perhaps throw the bodies in the cells so they're not like so visible to anyone immediately wandering past?
Be a good idea.
Good off.
Gareth, Gaza.
Hmm?
Bodies, cells.
Oh. He'll just go and start dragging them. He'll hurl them in the cells, and if you're standing in the open cell door, you may be hit with a flying body.
To be expected.
Yeah.
Right.
So in the far cell they go. Easy done.
Shall we venture forth?
Gareth walks out.
Close the door.
He said venture, so he's leaving.
Wrong way.
He comes back and stands next to Winnie, looking slightly sheepish.
How am I meant to work with this?
With difficulty, but nevertheless, we probably shouldn't linger here. Come on.
Okay. There is large doors in front of Garoth, which I suspect you wish to heave open. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. He's just now he's been told off already, so now he's just going along and doing what he's told.
Oh,
he's for now.
He's pouting. Okay.
Yeah. As much as a bear head can pout, he's very much pouting.
The large set of doors in front of Panrin, made of solid wood with iron bands, two large handles in the middle.
Do they have a keyhole in it? that I can maybe look through?
It does. You look
I
through.
must look for it. Yeah.
You see a table, and on top of the table, it looks kind of dark. And then you sort of adjust your eyes a bit, and you realise there's a bit of a glow coming off something in the room. But yeah, it's dimly lit, and there's a table with some just a few bits on it. There's nothing particularly impressive that you can see. There's some benches against the back wall that you can see, and there's a weapons rack that you just get the sight of a corner as you kind of look to your right. But otherwise you can't see enough. But it certainly appears to be empty. You would hope it would be empty given the amount of noise you just made fighting those guards. You put them down quickly, but even still.
May I have a look through, Penryn?
You look through. Same.
Excellent. I'd like to cast Mage Hand on the opposite side of the door, since I can see it because I'm looking through the keyhole, and have it fumble around with trying to open the door from the inside.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, nobody's tried to open the door from the outside, but you know, that's also a thing. So the door opens. It swings open in front of you, and you view. Let me just get rid of that. You view in front of you a large room. And this large room has got all of the things that more or less just said. There's a table in the middle. There's a rug in the middle on the floor. There's benches at the side. There's it looks like some sort of combat has happened here. As you look onto the carpet, there's blood on the floor.
Recent blood?
Not all of it. Some of it is, some of it isn't.
Panrin turns to the dwarf under the table and goes, "Any idea what they do in there?"
I've heard fighting coming from there.
Fighting. When was the last time you heard it?
About 3 meal times ago.
Is it like fighting, or like?
No, they don't sound like they've got a clue what they're doing. You should hear them. There's one of them like shouts all the time, and who's just like barking orders. They say, "Stick your sword up properly, you wave, baby, baby." It's just terrible. What a racket! They sound pathetic, if you ask me. I reckon they might be training somebody.
Interesting. Editor.
I'm gonna get Mage Hand to knock the weapons rack, I guess.
Okay.
Suppose I should probably move Winnie there where she can actually see it. But yes, I think just knock the weapons and see if there's any sound from the room.
Okay. The clatter of swords as the weapon rack is emptied, crashing to the floor. You look at the two doors to your right. here. Oh, hang on. Here. And here. 2 doors, 2 single doors. And nothing seems to happen as you wait in expectation.
Well, I guess we have the place to ourselves. Come, Garoth. Pick a door.
Garoth will walk in and then just walks right across. Pick the first one he saw when he came in.
Panrin goes and makes himself comfortable on one of these benches.
That's a bench, Garoth. The doors are down here.
No.
And unless you wish to use the bench as a battering ram, which is perfectly acceptable.
Garoth's eyes light up and he picks up the bench.
All right. Yeah, you grab the bench. Give me a strength check, please. It's a stone bench after all.
Yes.
Athletics.
Oh, athletic.
There we go. Yeah, you pick up the stone bench and you heave it across the room, knocking the table flying as you do so. It clatters towards Panrin, forcing you, Panrin. Can I get a dex save from you, please, as a table comes careering towards you?
What do I do? Do I just roll a...
On your character sheet, down the left-hand side, there should be some save type things that you can click, and one of them should say dex. If you click onto that, it'll roll.
In core, just below proficiency bonus.
Yeah, okay. And then just click on Dex here, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the table flies across the room. You get out of the way, but unfortunately, not quickly enough. The table, you think you just kind of you're just sitting there going, oh, that's great, I got out of the way. And then just as you're about to go back to where you're sitting, the table just does this last lurch and slowly falls on you and pins you to the bench. You don't take any damage, but you're currently stuck under a table that's rotated on top of you.
Gaza, this again?
He swings back with the bench to see what you were saying.
Can I get Mr. Hill to make a dex saving throw, please?
Oh god.
Yeah. So you.
That's actually really good for me.
You're not quite so lucky as the bench at the end of its arc slams. It just catches the top of your head, so you don't take too much damage. You're pretty wee, right? How tall are you?
Barely scraping 5 foot.
Yeah. Okay. So you probably managed to get your hand up, and you just take a kind of dunt. But you're going to take a little bit of damage from that. So you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as the battering ram Garoth is holding slams into you, and you just kind of go with it, but still not enough to mitigate all the damage.
Were you untouched in that entire fight right up until I just hit you?
Yes. The only damage I have taken is from my own idiotic protege.
Hey, you showed him.
I know. I never said I was smart either.
Panrin, after seeing this, decides that it's probably better to just stay underneath this this thing that's on top of him right now, rather than ask for help.
Okay.
Mr. Hill takes a step back and goes, "Get off the doors, if you please."
Swings back.
Yeah, no, there's nothing left to hit at this point in the room, so you turn around.
I'll use it as a battering ram, and I really hope these doors turn out to be completely unlocked.
So yeah, you're over here with a bench as a battering ram. You charge against. Can I get another athletics check, please?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the first hit doesn't. It bends the door and it makes a loud noise, but it doesn't break. You can try again.
So, I mean, given a task, I will keep doing it until I'm told to stop.
It's not happening. You're trying this door, and it's not. All you hear is just like, boom. The door just doesn't seem to be giving any of itself away to you. So yeah, continue rolling in this case until somebody in the party stops you.
Perhaps try a run up. Good off.
I try a run up.
There you go. So you run up. You take a few steps back. At this point, Panrin, the table gets moved off you. So the table spins around again, and you're now just sitting there casually on the bench as the table rotates as Garoth runs back with it again. So the table just spins round. Can I get another dex saving throw from you, please? As the table once again moves. There you go. You just quickly dodge it. You shimmy back and you get out of the table's way. The table's now facing that way. And the door smashes open. Unsurprisingly, given the brute force sheer ignorance of the behemoth that is Garoth. In front of you, you see there is nobody there. There is, however, a desk. And a chair in the corner. Yeah.
I'll turn to Mr. P. Hill and just go, now?
The other door. Get off. There's
Josh goes to the other door.
Mr. P. Hill make sure that he is out of the way.
You probably want to be over by Panrin, I think, if you want to be out of the way, or with Sora and Winnie.
We'll go with that.
Winnie just ducks behind Sora. Or tries to as Sora leaves.
Another
athletics check, please. Yep. There you go.
Oh,
yeah, that's
I really like the second one.
Yeah. The door doesn't so much crumble as it just kind of just hinges open. You probably got lucky by hitting the handle, and the door's probably not locked. So, yeah. Inside this, you see another desk and a chair behind it. They look like
before, Garoth. Now, return the bench to where you found it, please.
Garoth swings around with the bench and then looks really confused as he looks around the room. Garoth will just place it down gently in front of the doors he's just opened and stand back.
Alright,
It'll do.
I'm wondering what's underneath this rug, guys, in the middle of the room. And it looks over at Gareth and goes, do you mind pulling that rug?
Garoth takes his halberd, stabs it into the rug as hard as he can, and then just tosses it to the side.
Yeah, okay, easy done. It wrinkles up around the halberd and slides across the floor. There's blood on the floor. Old stained blood.
Shall we investigate these? Maybe what we seek is in here.
I shall stay in the corner, away from my rather over-enthusiastic understudy.
Winnie
Aaron
just sort
moves
of
over.
like climbs over the bench and enters into this office.
Sora will head into the other room.
Okay.
Yeah, Aaron will follow suit.
All right. Everybody's in the room searching for something. If you're just looking, roll perception. If you're actually rifling through the papers, give me investigation.
I forgot what was in this room when we said we were. All right, let's have a look. What is it? Perception, did you say?
Yeah, perception if you're just looking, but if you're actually getting in about it and rolling. Panrin, you don't see anything particular. But Winnie and Sora, you both find papers, and you walk out, or you say like simultaneously that you found something. You found something. Yeah, you look down at the bit of paper, and you realise that these are orders that have been given. The orders are very specific. They say, bring one of every race on the Isle to Argast in the tower after the ritual of the raising.
That's concerning.
One of every race.
As you're contemplating it, in the background you hear the clang of armour. As if somebody has deliberately and purposefully knocked over a piece of armour or hit it to strike it in an aforementioned point of warning.
Roth, we have guests. Please escort them from the property.
Garoth will look mildly confused, then grin and march out.
I'd like you all to roll initiative, please, as you see the doors opening, and then walking are four soldiers. Two of them are holding one of them in between themselves. You know that kind of thing that happens when you get carried off the pitch and you've got two people supporting you on either side? That's somebody in the middle in very serious armour is there, and that's what's happening to them. They look a bit banged up.
Winnie
yeah,
the
go for it.
papers quickly into her pockets so that she has a copy of whatever it is that she's found.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they see Garoth walking through, and you hear one in the middle saying, pointing at you, blood spitting out, say a little bit, saying, "How did you get out of the cell?" The soldier commands those around him, "Get that thing back in its cell now." Depending on how well these guys roll in initiative, they either rush you. No, they don't. They don't. Yeah, you've got the jump on them. You can all go first. Panrin.
Yeah, it's me then, isn't it? Right. Hearing all the commotion, Panrin moves towards the center of the room and decides he wants to see how it plays out.
All right. You can hold your action if you tell me what action you want to hold and what the trigger for that action happening in that round would be.
Just thinking, like, there's that door there. I can't see outside yet, can I?
No, not down to the front door. No.
Yeah, pretty much just where Garoth is, right?
Correct. Quick note: how long has passed since our previous fight, roughly?
The time it takes to knock down two doors if you're a bugbear.
More or less than 10 minutes.
Oh, less than 10 minutes.
Wonderful. Shield of Faith is still up then.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
No, I'll end it there.
Okay. Winnie.
Winnie races up to the doorway. Firebolt's been working out for me pretty well, so I'm actually going to cast it at the dude that already looks pretty banged up in the middle.
The dude that looks pretty banged up tries very hard to get out of the way of the firebolt, and it slams right in to whichever part of the anatomy you were aiming at.
Cool, that does like 9 fire damage.
All right. Garoth?
Garoth will grin. He doesn't usually get to fight this much this often. And he will just very, very casually walk up to about here. And he'll once again grin wider and wider, and he'll rage again to do that. And I will use my Wild Surge. 8. Oh, let's see what I got.
What's 3?
Sorry.
That was a long time. Can you bring it back up?
Yep. An intangible, a flump or a pixie.
The spirit explodes, and each creature within 5 foot must succeed in a dex save or take a d6 of force damage. And it continues to happen. So is it a flump or a pixie?
Oh, it's 100% a flump. There's just this like weird floating fluffy jellyfish thing appearing.
Yeah.
I love this class so much.
I have no idea if I should have it. Yes, I do. There we go. Here we are. Here is a flump. Roll 20. Here is a... Hey, there we go. And for those of you at home, that's what a flump looks like.
I mean, if anything's going to confuse your enemy, it's suddenly a flump appearing in your face.
Okay.
So I'll have the flump appear next to the injured one in the middle, who I think is within 15 feet of me, roughly.
Yep.
I got my rage stuff clicked. Yep. I will swing a halberd at him.
All right, and you hit him, and you managed to just switch. You realise he wasn't wearing any armor, or in no armor worth speaking of. What kind of attack do you do to kill this guy?
I'll just kind of walk up and grin while he's trying to pat out the smouldering flames, and just flip the halberd, and the axe part of it, I'll just take his head clean off his shoulder.
So, would you say it's fair that would create a bit of blood?
I would imagine so.
Okay.
Oh, that's promising.
All right, but he's definitely dead.
Lovely. Then Garoth will swing and hit the one in his reach that isn't next to his new floating friend.
That one, okay.
So 17 hit.
Yes, it does.
Lovely. So that is 9 points.
Okay. Okay.
Is it the end of my turn that happened?
The head bounces
Yes.
across.
So I'll end my turn and my flump can explode.
Okay, so everybody creature of your choice that you can see at any turn. So each creature within 5 feet must succeed. Okay, so there's 2 creatures within 5 feet, and they must make a dex save. So I don't fancy their chances much. Oh, the first one makes it on the right of, well, the left of the screen. The second one, however, does not. It must be terrible if the last vision that you have in life is a flump appearing in front of you, being stabbed by a halberd, and then having a flump explode in front of you, as you wish that you really had gone to see your mum and told her that you were thankful for everything that she had done for you. But instead, bits of exploding flump go through your brain, and you cease to exist, and the thoughts that you had of ever really making peace with the world are lost, and therefore a body falls to the floor.
Oh, wow, they're squishy.
And the flump disappears, obviously, because it's a beast of an alternate dimension, or at least the underworld. Anyway, Mr. P. Hill.
Shall stay hot. Enter the room and move to about there, which is as far as you can move. And he'll hold his action to swing his longsword at one of them should they come within range.
Okay.
And that's us.
I am going to find out if these guys are anywhere remotely sensible enough, now that one of them has died and their leader has died, whether or not...
He's going to shout, "Come and get it, boys," as well. But
not very bright, apparently, these guys. So they do exactly what you mention, and they charge for this, for the 5, and they charge towards you. There we go. 1, 2.
that'll be a longsword swing.
Yep, that hits. And that kills the first one as it charges towards you.
Excellent.
I think I just killed the wrong person. Bear with.
Bye, mentor. It was nice knowing you.
Forgetting that your character is long. Right, okay, that one's dead. Whatever, it don't matter. Right, you've got one down.
Yep, I'll do it. That's my action gone.
Okay. And it attacks you in return. You notice the slightly less, they got spear, and they rush at you two-handed with the spear, and they attack with a 10 to hit, which I assume misses. And
It does indeed.
you deflect it out of the way, no problem at all. Sora.
Alrighty. Get everything back there. So that's me about 10. Yeah, she'll get herself to there. Mr. P. Hill. Significantly shorter than these guys, I assume.
Yeah. There's a fair amount.
Perfect. Right. Let's see how much Roll20 hates me this time.
Break the curse. You broken the curse. It's your
Let your
turn.
attention.
Will the damage work?
Yes. This will just be a 1. Like, pretty much guaranteed. But yeah.
They're squishy. One might do it.
Well, certainly that does enough. The arrow spreads through, and it falls to the floor. The head that you lopped off is still moving. Everybody, you're not out of combat yet. The head is rolling across the floor. It's now just at Garoth's feet. It seems to be going round the table.
I got a second attack.
Yep,
I can see the head.
you can.
Oh. Yeah, only a 10.
Yeah, you hit the head. And
So-
your arrow pierces and sticks the head to the side of the desk. It appeared to be going somewhere, and now it is no longer going anywhere.
I mean, is it actually like dead, or is it just stationary?
You go up to it, have a look at it,
Yes.
and you look at it, and it doesn't appear to have any life left in it as far as you can tell. But what the hell? Why was it moving? It looked like it was going somewhere.
Sorry, are we still in combat?
Yeah, just now you are, yes. But you could go... Pandren? What do you want to do?
Where's this head now?
It's
That you've
pinned to the side of the table next to Garoth.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna walk in. Still staying sort of relatively behind cover. Say, where's that dwarf?
I'm here.
Okay.
Then you see your hand reaching out from under the chair.
Mr. Hill shall go back into this room and start inspecting all the weapons that have been scattered onto the floor, just to see if there's anything valuable.
Not especially. They all look like fairly standard training weapons. The kind of thing you'd give low-level grunts. Nothing of any particular value. I mean, you could sure you could take them somewhere if you wanted to, but that's a lot to carry. So you kind of nothing stands out immediately.
He'll select the simplest one and try and give it to the dwarf.
Okay.
Here, to defend yourself.
All right. Thanks. What's that? And she leans round the table.
It doesn't matter. Just I would not look.
Yeah, Padrin realized because Padrin was inside that room and didn't see what happened and why and how the head ended up where it is. Literally just asks what happened here, guys.
That would be Garoth.
Didn't duck.
Garoth happened.
Yes, he is improving. He has learned his range this time.
It shouldn't have kept moving, though.
No, it does seem rather strange.
The head was moving.
It was. Garoth, would you please put these other three in the cells? And she Winnie points at the initiate ones, and not the. Although that probably also. Yeah, to move them out of the way. And then, are we still in initiative order, or what's happening?
Yeah, just yeah. I mean, you're free-ish. We're kind of in a bit of a loose situation. Just Winnie. Yeah, what was your thoughts?
I'd like to cast I guess detect magic on the body head.
Ooh,
thing.
Nice. Yes, you get several pings in this room. You get several pings.
Okay.
As you're looking around, you have a think, and you recognize necromancy in the head, and you recognize that there's also an element of just a sort of enchantment around the armor as well. So that kind of, those two sort of mixed in together. And give me an Arcana check. Yeah, you probably think that there's something about that armor, and if you sort of put two and two together, and it seems to be, if any blood got near it, you've seen this sort of thing before, this kind of nonsense. If any blood gets on that armor, it'll likely immediately take the life force out of that, come alive, and try and destroy you. It looks like a defensive mechanism, so you don't want to get any blood on that, but equally you don't want to let any blood get to it. It seems to be drawing the blood towards it.
But it's not active unless there is blood.
That would be your estimation, yes. Unless it's actually touching or soaking up blood, then it wouldn't animate.
Okay. Does Garoth have any blood on him?
Garoth is carrying 3 brutally murdered bodies past this per his orders.
That's fair, I'm just checking.
I mean, Garoth is bloodied, he's taking hits.
Okay, never mind. I guess get the other corpse in, if that's at all possible. Winnie looks really uncomfortable about giving orders, by the way. This is not her thing, but... Has anyone got... That armor, I feel like getting any blood or anything near it would be a really bad idea. Perhaps we could, like, cover it with something? Has anyone got anything on them that might cover a suit of armor?
There's a large carpet.
That has blood on it.
Nice try, right?
I was listening when you described that.
I have a blanket.
Excellent.
That helps.
Garoth kind of raises one clawed hand. Just goes, points the middle thing, goes, table.
Yes, that is a table.
Kind of minds picking it up and smashing up top of the armor.
I think the blanket might be a better choice.
If the blanket doesn't work, then table.
Garoth grins happy.
Could we cover up the
far more
animated?
than my previous.
How tall is the suit of armor, Croy?
It is about 7 foot tall.
Oh. Garoth picks up Mr. Keyhill because he's too short to get a blanket on top otherwise and just holds him above it.
God fucking damn it.
So you put the blanket over the top of the suit of armor, and it falls down to about its shoulders and covers its head.
Yeah, near enough. Let's...
I think we might need to reassess this and maybe put it at the bottom.
Yeah. Maybe put a
Thank you for the assistance, Garoth. Can you return me to the floor, please? Gently.
You exactly what I was going to do.
Yes, I did.
Garoth very gently and with incredibly over-exaggerated care puts you down on top of the table.
It's table, but good enough. Mr. Hillis will jump down and neatly arrange the blanket around the feet of the statue to intercept any blood travelling across the floor.
Okay, that will do. You are now out of combat. Yes, there's not much chance now of anything happening. Well done. So you look around. The stairs on the other side of the room. While you were battering through the doors, some of you will have noticed that there was stairs on the far side of the training room with the carpet in it and the bench, and it's all now mixed and maxed. There are wood splinters everywhere across it. The whole place has been trashed. Weapons are all over the floor, but nevertheless, that room that you remember there being stairs down. So this would seem like the next logical location.
Well then, shall we continue on?
Yeah, good. You would assume, with the amount of noise we've made, or one of us has made, that if anyone was down there, they'd be up here by now.
Let's hope so.
Okay. What's your marching order down these stairs? They seem to go down quite a long way. Garoth at the front?
If no one stops, Garoth will go in the front again.
Okay.
I was more than happy with that.
Okay, Panon, where are you in the order? Middle?
This.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you, Mr. P. Hill, you're standing and you head down as well. We've got Winnie, and we know from prior. We know from prior that that the archer Sora is at the back, right? Red, is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is fair. Ranged weapons and decent perception, so.
Okay. All right. So this is what you'll see, and that having got that order sorted, I will remove this.
Am I getting any pings from detect magic? Because I think that lasts like 10 minutes.
You definitely are. There are 2 more suits of armor in front of you that you get that same sort of combination of magics from, with that same understanding. So yeah.
All right, guys, don't get any blood on the armor.
Garoth, do not touch the armor.
It's very sad. You like shiny things.
Okay. So in this, you enter down the flight of stairs and you're in the underground level of the Cadre barracks. The entry hall to the living level has the crest of the Cadre inlaid on the floor in stone. There are 3 closed doors and a hallway to exit the room, in addition to the stairwell that you've come down on. The 2 suits of armour flank the door directly in front of you, and there's a tapestry, gold on red, depicting the 5, lifting the city from the world below. Often seen sight. It hanging on the wall, and torches illuminate the room.
So where?
Say there's how many doors did you say there are in here?
3 doors. 3 closed doors. The most
Right,
dangerous
okay.
type.
Oh, okay. There's the other. Yeah. I was wondering where the other door was. Okay.
Well, we might as well end the session here and then spend like the next 2 hours off stream trying to get through these doors. So,
I mean, if we move away from them, I could use Mage Hand again.
There's also those benches still upstairs. So.
I was just thinking that actually.
we'll save the benches for now. I don't want to get hit in the head again. There's a slightly more confined space than up there.
Garoth will look at Winnie and just go, which door?
Winnie is not paying attention to him at all. She's examining the tapestry.
Nice piece of work.
Very skilled. Anything off from it?
No magic. Just nice to look at. Or distasteful, depending on your positioning with the 5. And given that you are members of the law list, that's generally not very positive. So you're probably a bit feeling a bit of bile lifting in the back of your throat as you look at this ostentatious and totally over the top rendition of a piece of history that, quite frankly, you're not even particularly keen on anyway. So no.
I want to cast Firebolt at it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Easy done. You set it on fire. Smoke is now filling the room as the threads burn. Not all of them immediately, and the smoke begins to pass and fill quite quickly in the room. It's not that huge a tapestry. It does soon burn up, but nevertheless, there is a smell of smoke.
Did the smoke dissipate anywhere beyond the doors that we've seen?
It is somewhat drawn to the stairs that you came down on.
Okay.
But generally, it's being volumetric and doing all of its wonderful things that smoke does, and expands.
Also, Winnie's like 3 foot, so she's probably avoiding most of it as it floats upwards, but sorry for anyone who's taller.
Same actually. So Padre just looks over like, sucks to be tall.
Doorways. We probably need to pick one. Maybe we go the one furthest away from the soldiers. Armors. Things.
The one by Mr. P.
Yeah.
I do actually.
Be my guest.
I think we're gonna mage hand this. I have cantrips. I'm using them. I also don't trust doors in this game at all, so like, let's.
You open the door with Mage Hand safely and without any trouble.
But like this is lulling us into a false sense of security, this, with doors.
Behind the door,
Yeah.
you see a collection of weapons hanging on racks in the room. It's an expansive collection of weapons. There is no armor nor cloaks. Here you can find any weapon listed in the standard table from the player's handbook. You have detect magic up still, don't you, Winnie?
I do. Yes.
Can you give me an Arcana check with advantage, please?
Sure. What do I need to press for advantage? I don't seem to have the thing that lets me select that.
Okay, roll twice. We'll take the highest of the two. Oh, there we go. The first
There
one
we go.
automatically. So 14. Yeah, that's fine. all of the weapons here are enchanted.
Excellent.
They're all +1 weapons.
Sweet. Guys, I think we've just found some excellent weaponry.
Wonderful. We shall take them all.
Groth immediately brightened.
Chinese.
And as you do, the door opens behind you, and a group of armed soldiers appear. Where's the fire? You just hear, "Where's the fire?" And then they look at you and say, "Get out of there!" And they rush to attack as you are trying to pillage. And as they do so, one of them, well, let's just say, touches the armor on the other side. I would like you all to select your tokens, please, and roll initiative.
The whole spectrum of initiative.
Wow, that's some roll.
That's the second time I've rolled it tonight.
To be fair, it's definitely impressive in its own right.
It's not even the worst decks I've ever had either.
No, I've seen those rolls actually. Yeah, I've never seen a negative deck before then, or negative initiative rather.
Yeah, and you, yeah, okay. So the order is Panrin, you're first.
Okay. What's the plan here, guys? Are we gonna we standing and fighting? Are we?
Yeah.
I'm gonna use Entangle. I can see just through that doorway to that middle guy, the middle soldier. Entangle.
Okay. So yeah, do you want to draw? You can draw an area, or well, I can do that as well. 20-foot square, so that's like 4 squares. Where are you centering it? Just in front of you?
No. So the soldier that's just inside that door.
Yeah.
Like with that, because there's like that door is just that 1 square, right? That will reach on the outside as well, would it? It's just a straight up 4x4 square. Was it like? Can it be obstructed?
It's a 4x4. It'll creep through the door. So, like,
Yeah.
do you want it to be like that?
I can go to.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, I can't.
Hang on. I'll draw that in the
By
right.
half the room.
I'll draw that in the right place this time.
I've just deleted him.
Yeah, fight over. Let's go.
Wait, so I can like do this, right? Like just on that guy there.
Yeah. So that's that on
Yeah.
that guy there, and then so Yeah, you've got entangle. That would go. That would go like that. There we go. Something like that anyway, give or take. Or down like that, if you prefer. Anyway, so yeah, we've basically got
Yeah,
harsh,
that's probably better. Yeah,
harsh
let's do
terrain. Yeah, cool. And it stops short of you. You're at the top corner of it, and you turn around and cast that. Okay, Pandon, what else are you going to do?
So that would have been my action, wouldn't it?
A creature in the area you cast the spell must
Yeah, one
succeed
action.
on a strength saving throw or be restrained until the spell ends. Okay, so I'm gonna do that for each of the soldiers. So that fails. I'll do them from the left to right, top to bottom. So left and then right. That succeeds. So blue succeeds. Yellow succeeds. Orange succeeds. And so all but the first one. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, all of those succeed apart from the first one. Okay, so none of them are restrained, but they aren't difficult terrain.
Doesn't the first one fail?
Yeah, sorry, all but the first one succeeds, so the first one fails.
So now all I can really do is just move now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and shout and talk and speak.
Yeah. Yeah. So they got difficult terrain now. Wait, oh, right, okay, yeah, there you go. Perrin will step aside and look at Gareth and thinking, knowing him, he's going to go right into those that difficult terrain head first. And as he thinks that, he realizes that he's more hoping that because realizing that the soldiers are not fully affected by the entanglement.
Okay.
Yeah, I can move more, so I'll just go up there. So I can see in the room a bit more.
All right. Okay. So, with that in mind, the soldier that come through first, you see him put his hand onto the suit of armor, and you watch as its right arm and left arm begin to creak up. It looks like it is being soon animated. And the soldier says, "What are you doing? These all this stuff here. Look, you leave this alone." And he begins to kind of slow his run down. It's bloody fire. And he turns around as he runs through, and he's like, "What?" So yeah, he moves 10 feet, and he moves out into that and attempts to hit Panrin. And with a one-handed longsword attack, twice on you, Panrin. 23 to hit and a 17 to hit. What's your AC?
My AC 14.
So both hit, and you take 16 points of slashing damage. The other soldiers step out, so that's 10. 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, 20. Okay. Yeah, good job on the difficult terrain. That really slows them down. Garoth, there is vines mysteriously appearing in front of you, but maybe you've seen them before and you know what they are, or maybe you don't.
So Garoth will step up to here, which will keep outside of the weird magic thing he's seen his friends cast before, but still let him hit everyone. He will use his final rage. So I'll pop that in. Let's see what random things I get. 7. Right.
That works nicely.
I mean, it fits. It's just not the most useful thing I could have had.
Ah.
On the right side, he looks lovely with some flowers sprouting out from his fur, just one popped up behind his ear. And with all that lovely foliage, he will swing his halberd straight down on the one that tried to hurt his friend. Click rage and halberd. 18 hit.
Yes, an 18 hits.
Lovely. And 9 damage.
Okay.
Other one. 17 hit.
Yes, it does.
Excellent. And 12 damage, all on the same guy.
So that is 19 points damage, and okay. Okay. You notice something very strange, Gareth. Whether you notice it or somebody else notices it, but when you struck that soldier, the soldiers around it also took damage. It's like you saw the same reaction in the corner of your eye, as if all of them had been hit by you at the same time.
Hey, Garoth will just grin at that. Kind of muttered himself under his breath. Hit them all at once.
Yeah, sorry, you noticed that as well. The only thing it didn't was the armor in the top corner. That looks like it's now moved its shoulder as well as its arm.
Okay. Gareth's raging at the moment, yes?
Yes.
Yep.
Right. So, gonna go with longbow, aiming at blue.
Okay.
The soldiers.
Yeah. That's a hit.
Excellent. In that case, I am applying bursting arrow.
Detonate.
So it detonates, and it is 2d6 force damage to all creatures within 10 feet. Which... Sorry, Gareth.
Yeah. It's Garoth. It's
You're gonna blow me. I'll get my name right.
No. Why would I?
All of the soldiers, the animated armor, and yeah, we'll assume that you take a slight step back to avoid the impact of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, she would have a much greater awareness of where she actually is. So, Blue is going to take 11 points of piercing damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2d6. 7 points of force damage.
As that happens, you notice the force energy ripple duplicates. You know when you skim a stone across the water, and it does plop plop, and you see the ripples, and then they hit each other. It's a bit like that. The force damage you target it at, and it hits one, it bounces back into the other one, it then bounces back again, and you just see this effect bouncing between all, and the soldiers are just going, and they're just getting smashed around, and all 4 of them fall to the floor. The energy's still dissipating between them.
Well, that was different.
Sorry, is it a save or is it just straight up the force damage?
That one's just straight up force damage.
Okay.
Yeah, the other one I've got is the save.
Mr. Hill just mumbles to himself. Picked the wrong one.
I agree. Go annoy them.
His character's smart. I can't.
See some manipulation.
Okay, and as you do that, you watch as the large piece of metallic armor in the corner takes a step forward off its stand. A large creaking metallic sound reverberates, still slightly smelling of smoke, but now of absolutely pulverized flesh as well, and a voice rumbles and says, "It's quite enough," and the thing steps forward towards you. Just basically stamps on the body. Yeah, okay. So
I don't suppose double difficult terrain is a thing.
it's not just difficult, it's really difficult. No. It's
I mean, spike growth does it. It quarters your movement.
so anyway, it's standing there, and it's looking at you. It reaches up its big hand, pulls its shield up in front of it, points its sword towards you, and where will it go? Oh, it's pretty nice. Okay, yeah, it's taken a while. All right. Sora, are you done?
If this thing's moving on her turn, then she is going to set her... Well, she's still moving anyway, so the second arrow would be going into it. So... sticking with longbow?
That does
13.
Does not hit. Bounces off his shield.
Cool, and she is done.
Okay. The armor begins to stride through the terrible mess. It doesn't get very far, but it gets far enough to be able to take a swipe at Garoth. Large 7 foot. It looks down on you, I think, Garoth, does it? At 7 foot?
I'm just shy 8.
Okay.
I think that's what I said.
It raises its shield and its whole body. It looks like it bends down a little bit, and it basically tries to shoulder barge you, just smash right into you. And it does that twice. So 17 to hit, and then the second one misses.
Yes. First move.
You've got +2 to your AC still, don't you?
I don't know. That was going to be my next question. If it's been 10 minutes or not since that was cast.
No, it's past 10 minutes now. So yeah, it was only 10 minutes.
So yeah, no, don't know.
That times.
So yeah, you're raging, so you take half 5 damage if a 17 hits.
Oh yeah, whoops. I forgot that thing. Hold on. Self-health back.
Winnie?
Okay. Winnie squeaks, seeing this thing come to life. To use the 8 that I rolled earlier. No, I'm going to use Dispel Magic to start with on this thingamybobby. And its attack roll is basically going to have to be like it's 8 because I'm using Porter. Like it's saving throw. So it's 8 plus whatever its I don't know, ability. Yeah. If it's above a 3rd level spell, but I'm going to use the 8.
It's you that rolls for that, not the creature. If it's
No?
below 3rd level.
You roll.
can-
Yeah.
Spell it.
No, you roll for Dispel Magic.
Oh, okay, so I have to roll. Then I'm not using Portent. I didn't realize that. I thought it had to make a DC save thing anyway. Okay, cool. So I need to roll.
If it's above a 3rd level spell, yeah. But if it's
Yeah.
not,
So what exactly am I rolling? Is it just like
you
a?
roll
You'd roll a d20 and add your
Intelligence.
spell modifier.
So you just roll intelligence. Straight intelligence.
I think I can re-roll that actually. I'm going to use a luck point. I think that meets it.
Right. What you've done is you're casting Dispel Magic at what level?
3rd level.
Okay, so that's DC equals 13. So if you weren't using anything else, the DC for that would be 13 for the yeah, and then you've rolled and you've got the 14.
I thought are you saying it's a 3rd level spell that is used to create that armor?
No, I'm just trying to get through. I'm just trying to work out what's being rolled because Portent's in there as well. So each spell, any spell 3rd level target ends. For each spell 4th level or higher, take an ability check using your spellcasting ability. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. So yeah, you've.
What level of spell was used to create that armor?
You have. I need to know the level of the spell that was used to create that armor. Let me think about that just for a second, because that didn't come up in any of the guide that was written in advance of this particular session. Armor. Animate an armor. Okay, so 5th level spell would probably be the most likely one, so it doesn't work.
I mean, do I just need to make another intelligence check and pass that?
You need to roll over 15. Yes. Are you using luck?
Probably not for this, Nick. We'll just try it. Oh, that's a 1. I can re-roll that. Because I'm a halfling.
There you go.
That's better.
Okay. So, as you focus, what do you do? How does it work? How do you dispel the magic? What's your technique? It's verbal and somatic. So-
Winnie just wants it to stop hitting at her friends, and she's also vaguely concerned about just how, like, horrific this whole blood magic whatever is going on. So she just, like, throws her hand out and just yells, "Stop at it."
Okay. And it doesn't work, first of all, because you rolled terribly to start with. Then you rolled again, but rolled even worse. But then because of the fact that you're a halfling, you get to roll a third time, and it worked. You feel blessed as the armor, as it was creaking towards Garroth, stops. And it just ceases to move. It ceases to do anything. And detect magic is still up, I guess. It's still there, right? It's an hour. So yeah, you notice all the magic energy just fizzles from it, and it no longer gives any reading. It is inert. So you're no longer in combat.
Excellent.
Cameron stands up like, well, that was drama, wasn't it?
Just a little bit.
There seems to be a lot of these people.
I find it weird that they're linked.
Do you think it was the armor that was controlling all of it in the first
I
place?
don't know. Shall we grab some additional weaponry and then continue forth?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Probably a good idea.
As you rifle through the armory, the smell of smoke dissipating from the air, replaced by the smell of dead bodies, you get the opportunity to find anything for which you can get from the standard table, but everything's +1. So if you go up to the eye, the black circle and the white eye, and just type in weapons, that should give you lists, and lists, yeah, you've got some melee weapons there, and I think, but we can sort this out off stream before tomorrow as well. This is, but yeah, so basically, yeah, we'll get a list on Discord for you, and you can, or look it up online, and you can pick that, or I'll find the list. Is that it? Weapons, rules, weapons. I think there might be. Yeah, there's a list there. Excellent. There you go. So if you go up to the circle, type in weapons.
Yeah. Is it the one like where it says lists? That's the one.
There's actually no. The one that says rules has actually got the list on it that I'm looking for, which is helpful. So there you go. So the simple weapons that are there at the top, I think, is what it's referring to. But we will sort that off stream before the start of tomorrow's game. But yeah, you can pick something from there, but it will be a +1, and we'll add that into the inventory. So yeah, there we go. Right. That's a good point to stop. You're in the lower floor. You're looking for these particular ropes. There's a whole bunch of strange magic stuff happening that you've uncovered. Yeah. We shall we shall continue this tomorrow.